And we're back. This is gonna be crazy. Okay, so you've all seen this movie, right? Of course you have. But while that house was dropping in 1939, another place was opening its doors. But be advised, you are not in Kansas anymore. In a previous episode, I talked about a man named Charlie Smalls from this same neighborhood, created all the songs in The Wiz. With the exception of Brand New Day, this might be the one place where you could identify the place just by hearing sounds. Or maybe this one. Or perhaps this. This story does start in the park. Sounds familiar, right? We're talking about a park that had such legends as Dr. Bob Lee, names like DJ Smalls, the Orr Brothers, the Sunshine Boys, and those of you who know the Disco Twins. These guys not only rocked there, but they rocked at a place called the Center. If you know your hip-hop history, you've heard names like Chappie Chap. One fateful day at the park, and after years of practice, who ends up on the ones and twos?
My man Marley Marl in the head.
Here we go. It was only a matter of time before Marley began being known to be on this show.
Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Marley Marl.
Although when you think of the bridge, what probably comes to mind are all the dudes, right?
So I called Marley Marl on the very next day, then we cut a rap about the sucker DJ.
Interestingly, it's the ladies that blazed the trail when it came to the records on the airwaves. Enter this girl.
Well, my name is Roxanne. I don't say no, I just a cold rock a party and I do this show.
Immediate legendary status. A song was done for the specific purpose of celebrating the hood. But once Marley brought it to the station and played it, people were turning on their radio and hearing this.
The bridge.
The bridge became worldwide. Right around this time, word got around the bridge that there was a dude hanging around, widely loved, but this guy was beatboxing and rapping at the same time.
I like to introduce myself. My name is Bismarck.
But let me not get ahead of myself. There was a kid from Marley's building that ended up answering phones at the Rap Attack show, started releasing records produced by Marley. But we're gonna come back to him. Remember this picture of Marley and this little kid in the background? Well, that kid, he partnered up with his friend and they became the Super Kids. Please remember the Super Kids, the Super Kids. By this time, Smitty's was the popular spot. Shan would hang there with his boy from Corona. You remember this guy from a previous episode?
Kool G Rap and Polo.
Kool G Rap, one of the all-time greatest, originally got his start with the Disco Twins. Remember them? But G Rap also had step-siblings that lived in Queensbridge. Speaking of that episode, remember when I said that Eric B brought Rakim to Marley and they created this hip-hop classic?
Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this.
Do you know who played the legendary bass line on that song? It was this guy. But I digress. Meanwhile, Andre Harrell comes to the bridge to talk to Marley about a film he intended to do. Ultimately, it became the Uptown Project. That's why Marley is in this video.
I got my man DJ Marley Marl.
This was the launch of Uptown, and that's why Marley actually did this record.
Wait, Bubba's in the house.
But I'm sure you knew that. By this time, the name Juice Crew was ringing bells everywhere, even throughout what we call the Bridge Wars. Now, remember when I mentioned the Super Kids? Well, one of them ultimately became a intellectual hooligan, if you will. The other member, the legendary DJ Hot Day, became a premier DJ and young producer in the hood. By '88, QB was rhyming and or producing on some of the biggest hits, not only in this golden era, but of all time.
The B-I-G-D-A-double-D-Y-K-A-N-E.
Can you feel it? Nothing can save ya.
They're giggling, baby.
Go ahead, baby.
I came to express the rap I manifest. Took time to create, cause there's money to make. To be
Enter the symphony.
I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but it got to be funky.
Sparked by Juice Crew member and Brooklynite Master Ace, this became an instant classic. Remember I said there was a kid answering phones at the Rap Attack show? Remember I said he was already releasing street hits? Well, the kid was 16 now.
I believe that's me.
You would know him as
Craig G, light up the mic for the symphony. The jam is dedicated to all unoptimistic.
And not only did Ace, Craig G, Kool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and Marley kill this record, but Craig also dropped this classic.
Craig G and Marley Marl, we form the ultimate alliance. No sucker can deal when I'm dropping signs.
Some of you may have heard that beat used in another way.
Give me one more chance.
And guess who was DJing for Craig at that time?
DJ Hot Day.
But not so fast. Hot Day had what some might call a career change. The streets know what I mean. And at that point, he did the unthinkable. He gave away a portion of his DJ equipment. But not just to anyone. He faithfully gave it to someone from the hood, Willie Graham. Don't recognize the name? Willie Graham started to DJ for someone who called himself Kid Wave. You would know Kid Wave by a different name. You would also know the late Willie Graham by another name, his DJ name.